Hey everybody, and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program RP-0. We are joining one of our liquid fuel, yes, slugs. It has already left Earth SOI, and it needs to make a plane change, and which means I need to activate these engines, which I probably could have done through staging, but I've already flown past the node because I forgot about it, and Kerbal Alarm Clock thankfully gave me a nice reminder, but we got a delay of about 31 some odd seconds, so we might as well just wait until that has gone through. In the meantime, I'm going to open up all of these fuel tanks that I probably should have done before I left the spacecraft alone in the first place, but did not, because reasons. Alright, engines are starting to come online. There's 1, 2, and 3. Just waiting on engine 4. Engine 4 is online. Fantastic. But I cannot start the burn with uneven tank accessibility. Alright, and we're just ullaging those AJ-10s and light them up. We've got another maneuver node for another spacecraft. Probably a similar model to this one. One of the HG3 fuel cell transfers. And then shortly after that, we've got launches of the updated life support modules, because that's when mechjeb seems to think the window is, instead of when Kerbal Alarm Clock seems to think the Mars window is. 3.2 meters per second shy. That's not a big deal. We've got these big powerful thrusters. We might as well put them to some good use. Oh wow, that's taking a lot longer than I thought it would. I guess we are quite heavy. But this should put us on a pretty good course for Mars. I know I was a bit late, and on corrections like this, it's important to be accurate. And that did not happen. So let me just... Okay, well, we'll just dance around the node a bunch. Let's go ahead and check our telemetry. We can eliminate this node now. And tell me please, yes, we have an encounter. Is it a good one? Oh dude, look at that. That is not too shabby at all, actually. And yeah, just a couple of quick taps on the RCS. And we'll go ahead and bring that in a little closer. If we could just make it atmospheric, that'd be great. 70 some odd kilometers. Bingo, I will take it. F5. So, dude, this is on course. I am super excited that this is working. It's working. It's actually working. All right, and just to double check, make sure all these tanks are still locked. They are. That's fantastic. How's our electric charge? Topped off. Even better. This tank is still locked. We're going to leave it that way because I want to shift as much weight closer to the heat shield as I can for when we perform our Aero capture maneuver. But that's going to do it for this little guy. Obviously not the episode. I'll pick you guys up in just a few minutes. We're going to do another correction on another spacecraft. Actually, I can just bring up Kerbal Alarm Clock. Yes, and do this. Jump to ship. Ta-da! Looks quite similar, doesn't it? Yes, it's the exact same spacecraft. So we're going to do the exact same thing again. Although this time, hopefully I won't miss the node. But if it comes out just as well as the last time, then I will not be saddened at all. So, unlock all of our fuel tanks. Come on, there we go. Alright. So the nodes are all nice and set up already for me, thanks to a bunch of off-camera handiwork. So, again, hopefully. If we happen to lose one of these, it's not the end of the world, nor do I think it's going to be the end of the mission, but, man, it would certainly put a damper on our spirits. We may have to launch additional spacecraft with the crewed portion. Alright. Where's our node? There it is. God, look at this fleet of spacecrafts. It's like we're invading Mars. And we'll just let this counter count. And you know what? Yeah, it's gonna pop me out within about a minute or so, and Time Warp will slow itself down automatically. Oh, RCS is not on. Let's activate that. 1 minute delay, 2 minutes to node. Of course. Obviously. Do we not have an engine active? Activate engine. I swear 4 of those were turned on before. I should have just staged them in because that decoupler is not going anywhere. Come on. We are 10 seconds past our node. I would like to have my RCS controls. Tell me that command went through. It did not. Dang it. Alright. Fine. Now we have RCS control, and I'm going to rotate it the wrong direction. That's fine. That's just fine. So the first one was doing fine, just making sure this one is also fine as far as electric charge is concerned. And the rotation has ullaged our engines for us, so we'll just go ahead and fire them up. You know, we were a little more than a minute, maybe 2 minutes behind on the last burn for the previous fuel slug, so maybe this one will be alright also. We can only hope. Alright, we'll just touch this up with RCS. Here's hoping. Alright. I should probably set alarms for your SOI changes, shouldn't I? Yeah, so I'll leave Kerbal alarm clock open. I can put flight computer away, however. Alright, and looks like we do have an encounter. Fantastic. Focus view. How worthwhile is it? Is that coming around the opposite side? I believe it is. So I'm going to try just tapping every single key that I can. And there we go. That looks way lower than our last one. So we'll just try something like this, perhaps. That looks better, I think. 103. Yeah, there we go. Alright, Kerbal alarm clock, add alarm, SOI change, add alarm, 145 days. And we got another one coming in 145 days, and 136 days. Proby McProbeface makes an adjustment at 142 days. It's probably right before encounter. Oh, alright. So I've got a bunch more of these alarms to set up. I'm going to do that while I'm thinking about it now instead of coming back to it later. Like Mars Station, for instance. You know what? I'm going to take a quick save, just in case things explode. But I'm just going to go through, set up a bunch of alarms, and I will pick you guys up in just a bit. Alright, well, it's been about 20 days since I left, and nothing for all of you. We are out on the launch pad with our first liquid fuel slug of the redesigned type. And we're going to go ahead and get this guy off the pad because I almost overshot our relative inclination with the moon. And we're going to see if who's the bigger liar, Kerbal alarm clock or mechjeb. Because mechjeb was telling me that about 60 days was an optimal window for transfer to Mars, and Kerbal alarm clock was telling me it was right then, which was now 60 days ago. So we're going to chance the life support supplies of our Mars mission on which one of these two lied to us, because I had to keep rolling things back and refitting the launcher and have run our program pretty much into the ground. We're very broke, so there's going to be some missions for pay coming up, undoubtedly. But the good news is we can use some of those paid missions, like a 3-person crewed orbital flight, to test out the Artemis 3-M, which is super essential to making sure that spacecraft works before we dispatch it so far away. So I'm going to get core overheating shutting down. Great. I think that's our RTGs. I have seen this once before, but on a launch that ultimately failed. This is in no way different from the fuel slugs that we sent up earlier. Other than the slug portion is a little bit bigger and they contain life support instead of fuel. But the reactors for them, the RTGs, I should say, the placement's exactly the same. Everything is pretty much as it was, so this is confusing. But yeah, we're losing electric charge. But I guess that should be expected. We're running a lot more cores too, so we'll just have to see how this affects things. Anyway, I will see all of you hopefully in orbit. Oh no. It looks like we've lost an engine. That's a bad time. Well, test flight works. I don't know how many hours ago that happened, but it is a thing. We are now running on 4 of our 5 engines, and that could pose a significant problem. Oh, good. Why the hell didn't I notice that sooner? Oh, crap. Alright, well, that does cut into our margins a bit, but I think we can still pull this off. Alright, what happened? Where is... yeah, engine shutdown. So I guess we just had a total failure on one of our HG3C levels. Yeah, it was about time one of those failed. I'd have launched countless HG3s at this point. I guess it was inevitable that one of them was going to fail at some point. So happy to know that that mechanic is working as intended as far as its integration with test flight. We're going to push, we're going to carry on. We're going to try to pull this one out of the bag anyway. We are obviously going to have to burn a little harder from our upper stage, our S4B stage, but we'll see if we can't make up the difference on the back end, and we'll see if that extra margin that was built into that transfer stage is going to pay out for us. So fingers crossed, everybody. This one is quite critical. Alright, it's a terrible orbit, 525 by 153, but we have 5,500 meters per second left in our transfer stage, which, heaven help us, should be enough to get everything done. I'm going to move a bunch of fuel around here since we burned stuff off from, yeah, those tanks got a little, those tanks, yeah, it looks like all the tanks got a little bit. And it's just, it's easier to localize the drain into one tank is the best way to put it. And then we'll start our plot for Mars. So I'll pick you guys up in, well, I guess the time now doesn't matter so much because I'm almost done. I know that's not the one that was drained, was it? Or was it? I can't tell anymore which one I got to and which one I didn't. Oh no. So I'll just hit in on all of them. I'm pretty sure that's all of them. Alright, and I really wish I knew which core was overheating. Not doing such a good job of telling me these things, but alright. You know, whatever works. And we will just take a little bit of fuel from these two. Not so bad. Alright. Mars. Let's do it. Who's the liar McLiarson? Set as target. Get rid of you. Maneuver. Yeah, 4.02 kilometers per second. That is not bad at all. Let's see where that brings us in. Okay. I'd like to come in on the other side, around the back. That is certainly going to warrant a inclination change a bit later, but I'd say we're good to go. Our node is in 29 minutes. The burn will take 6 minutes 12 seconds. We do in fact have the delta V for this, so we're just going to go ahead and make this happen. That is awesome. I am excited. It's so cool that we can still pull this off despite the fact that we lost an engine on takeoff. Alright, I'll turn our SAS off and just let this bad boy rotate. And our core is still overheating and shutting down. Yeah, we're losing electric charge at 0.48. Not surprising considering this little guy consumes like 750 watts. So, you know, no big deal. Oops, overshot. 2 minutes to node on a 6-minute burn. It probably will not take 6 minutes, but I'll edge this in. How are we looking? Very stable. Ignition. And we're lit. So now that we have gimbal authority, we will lock this tank again. And just lay on these thrusters back here. Now, we don't even need to do that. We've got, we're going to have more than a kilometer per second left in this transfer stage. That is awesome. I'm starting to enjoy this DN series more and more every single time I fly it. So those of you who play RSS or RP-0 know exactly how wonderful it is to have a really capable launch vehicle. And the wobbles weren't even all that bad. I don't know if you saw it, but I locked the gimbal on the center engine of that launch stage, the 5 HG3s. The center engine got its gimbal locked, and I think any of the wiggles we may have had may have been due to that engine failure. So I'd say we're on course. We are still very much green-lit for Mars. Alright, well, we're within 3.1 meters per second. So we'll do that to arrest that. What are you guys doing? Yeah, I had no control input there, and I don't know why. It was trying to arrest a spin that doesn't exist. But you know what? We're going to turn off the RCS. I am going to open up all these tanks because we're going to rob from them. Because it's obviously the right thing to do. And that's our central core here, and in. Oh, look at that. We even have fuel left over. In, no, in, no. Nothing? Nobody? That one was locked from where to go. Okay, well, I guess we're all set as far as those are concerned. And man, 1,400 meters per second left in the stage. It's got no ignitions, but I'm still going to check our telemetry here before I ditch it. Yeah, we're a bit off. It helps when you turn the RCS on. Nope, that's going the wrong way, so we'll just hit the brakes here. I should probably be doing this, yeah, with a stage with much better balanced RCS ports. Yeah, because see, now we're going all cattywampus. So, you know what? Goodbye. Decouple. Of course, let's play the You Can't Click on Me game. There it is. And let's see what pushing into the node for that 2.8 meters per second is going to give us. Wow, that thing drains. Those thrusters, man, they really pull from that tank. Yeah, I knew what I was getting into, so. Oh, good. Look what our adjustment is going to do to us. Alright, looks like we'll still steer clear of our transfer stage by a bit. Let's see what this is doing. Nothing great. Yeah, that's fantastic. This looks like a correction burn kind of situation, so we're just going to go ahead and get rid of that. Well, nice to know that the Kerbal Alarm Clock was the liar for a change and not mechjeb. So I will take back most of the mean things I've said about you, mechjeb. But only most of them. We'll get these online before we get too far out of comms range and open up some of our tanks. We'll just do the big ones for now. I don't imagine we're going to need a huge corrective burn, seeing as how we already have an encounter, which was much better than the last time. Last 5, perhaps. Alright. So, do we get an ascending or descending node? We do not, of course. Why would we? Why would we need such a thing? Why is that the blue line? Oh, we haven't left Earth SOI yet. Duh. So let's see what we can do here before we go all crazy with it. Focus view. Thank you. Oh, excellent. This is going to go very well. Yes. Look at how nice and accurate and smooth our node predictions are going to be. Everything is going to need a plane change when it gets there so that they can all rendezvous. But, oh, that was too much. For the most part, we're looking pretty good. Just roll that in, yeah, a little bit. There we go, 272, that's not bad. Alright, turn our SAS off and give ourselves a little kick to get over to the node. I'm sorry I ever doubted you, mechjeb. proven to be not terrible after all. Alright, we got 10 meters per second to go. And then we will be right where we want to be for the most part. I mean, where we want to be is Mars, but I'll take on course for Mars. Oh, I missed. I missed. Dang it. I think we can still pull this off. Oh. KSP stuttered and I thought we ran out of fuel and I was going to be insanely mad. God, look at how much our resultant orbit shifts with just such a small change. It never fails to just boggle my mind. Alright. Bring that in and up and in and up and in and up and in and up. There we go. That should be pretty much suborbital. Turn our RCS system off. Ooh, what a pretty shot we have here. I'll take it. Awesome. So we actually have a good supply of life support on its way to Mars, which was kind of our last linchpin. We've got another one of these that's going to go up, but that's probably going to be next time. So that's going to do it for this episode, if you haven't figured that part out already. Thank you so much for hanging out, everyone. I do appreciate it, and I'll see all of you in the next one. So until then, see you later.